Hello guys, it is I, Ravworks, back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about why One Piece is absolutely doo-doo. Yes, you heard me right, One Piece is actually doo-doo. Now, before we get started, I just want to make sure that you guys are all subscribed, and make sure to like the video while you're at it, so we can support this more genuinely fascinating content that may interest a large view of an audience. Now, let's get into the thing. Reason number 10. Why I hate One Piece. Now, the 10th reason why I hate One Piece, or the last reason why I would hate One Piece, is because there's not enough scenes where in the original manga where Usopp is portrayed accurately. Because in most of the anime, he's usually portrayed as a very weak person, when in fact that's not the case, as he has been able to use Conqueror's Haki and other things. But Oda himself said that he should be nerfed, so they nerfed him for no reason, and that genuinely makes me so sad coming from a true One Piece fan like me. I used to be enamored with the whole series, but now I really hate it now because they didn't listen and they just nerfed Usopp like that. And it's really unfair. I get that he's really strong, has Conqueror's Haki and everything, but in my genuine opinion, I believe that it's not really a good thing to do. So I think that the creator has created a sin upon himself and he should be punished. Okay. Reason number 9. Usually I'm always one for more joke characters like Luffy or Sanji, but in my opinion they stray so little in comparison compared to the Paw Fruit Man. I forgot his name, by the way. I just haven't been keeping up because the One Piece hate watch and everything. The thing is with this series that I don't really like anymore was the way that everything was paced. In One Piece, the pacing is really bad, and usually I wouldn't even complain about pacing because anime is just a slop fest, it's for sloppy people. But honestly, because of how sloppy it is, it's so sloppy to the point where I just can't handle it, you have to think to yourself, when do I stop eating the slop? When will I stop eating from Oda's sloppy slop? And to that I say, you never stop, because it's One Piece and you have to catch them all. And now I know that it can be a bit heartwarming and heartbreaking to hear that your favorite series is sucking now. But honestly, I would look this as a new way of life and maybe a redemption from God himself. So you can think of this as a really good thing, or you can just be a sad little baby and whine about it. And yeah, that's typically the summary of my point. Now, reason 8 why I hate One Piece. Now, the 8th reason why I would hate One Piece is because I don't really like the style of the game. Honestly, when you look at a game like Don't Starve Together, you see that it has a cool gothic style and it's really cool. But with One Piece, it's just too cartoony, everything is so light-hearted. It's like I'm watching a kid's show, but there's a female weird thing, so cornball basically. And it just ruins the entire point of the show, now all of the shows are just centered around this one character, Nami. I just can't handle it, sometimes I just wish there would be a better day where we could just sit in the sun and just watch the normal One Piece arc before Dressrosa, because everything before Dressrosa was actually peak. And now, on to my next point. Number 7. Why I think One Piece sucks. Alright, so my 7th point is that the series genuinely has too many powers to keep up with. The amount of fruits that Oda be pulling up out of his ass is just insane to me. By the way, I don't swear. Make sure to subscribe and like, and share the video while you're at it. But anyways, what I was saying, oh yeah, I was saying how overrated some of these things are. Like he just takes out anything from the book and just puts it. Like just imagine Superman, but Luffy or something, you know? Like it's just so like insane. Like I don't know how people just keep coming up with this, and people just keep supporting slop channels like Oda. Like honestly, like they did this with the solo leveling, and they did this with God of War, and this is what happened, you know? Like honestly, I think the whole like One Piece thing deserves to be hated now, because honestly, all of it is just like
unauthorized
fanfare now.
bypasser. If I join inside.
Oh yeah, and that also brings you to my sixth point of why I hate One Piece. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video, by the way. And the sixth reason why I hate One Piece is because of it's just like it just reminds me too much about Superman. And you know, Superman's a good guy, he loves everybody, but in One Piece they're Japanese people and they don't love you. So that's why I think that One Piece is pretty evil. And the only good person in One Piece is Usopp, because he's the GOAT and everyone loves him and nobody should hate him. But he's the only thing that's a saving grace on the show, in my opinion. But other than that, I think that One Piece, what One Piece does good though, in my regard, to give it some fair criticism, is that it doesn't fundamentally butcher the core concept of being a One Piecerin. Now you may be asking to yourselves, what is a One Piecerin? Well, it's something like an ubachi, but like it has like this kind of terminology where it's like unanimous with the One Piece lore. Basically, like, you know how there's like a Nika King? It's kind of like that. So like the show has so many elements of that. Like it's so reliant on its own lore that it just like ends up being like just a waste of your time to watch. Like I wouldn't even recommend my worst enemies this series. Like sheesh, like I'd rather play like Super Mario Bros. Wii than, I mean, don't get me wrong, Super Mario Bros. Wii is pretty great. Like I mean, all of the Nintendo games are pretty good. Like except for what's it called? I forgot. Anyways, enough talk about Nintendo. Let's talk about why One Piece sucks though. Okay, on to my next point, number 4 of why One Piece sucks. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe. And while you're at it, turn on post notifications so you're uploaded to our daily uploads. All of this helps my channel and I would greatly appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Now, the fourth reason why I hate One Piece. First of all, the villains in One Piece are so bland and rudimentary. They're so easily established, and yet they provide no character arc. They're just so lifeless and soulless, just like Star Wars. And to be honest, I can't even like blame them. Like they're like Japanese workers that are working 9 to 5, trying to make a quick buck by making a cheap animation called One Piece. And honestly, I wouldn't blame them. Like if I was a Japanese worker, I would write One Piece and like make it the best as I possibly can, because I honestly just want to do the best for my family. And now morally, One Piece animators should be praised, but in regards to artistic intent, I think they're the worst things out there in terms of writing, of course. Not them as genuine people, but like in terms of writing. Now with that out of the way, I want to get into my third point on why I hate One Piece. First of all, the way that they portray my beloved hero, Usopp, in such a negative light. And I know I've said this in another point, but the amount of times that he's been like absolutely dishwashed in this series, and out of the 1,000 episodes, he hasn't had any character development. Like he didn't get any extra powers. Like he became the Nika King. He became like conquers hockey, stuff like that. Usopp V2 from GPO. Like the only thing he hasn't learned yet is like the friends we made along the way. Like honestly, like I wouldn't even consider anymore like him being a good character anymore. Like Oda himself just like realized how good of a character he is, and they just had to nerf him, you know. And that's what I really hate. Like they nerf my goat, you know. And that's why I'll never forgive Oda, and I'll never watch whatever they have coming next. So, thematically making sense of the timeline of the story, it is pretty convoluted. So, I wouldn't even bother like trying to catch up with the story anymore because there's so many episodes. And that brings me on to my second point on why I hate One Piece. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe and share and turn on post notifications while you're at it. It really means a lot to me. But anyways, I think the second reason why people won't like One Piece anymore is because of how convoluted the storyline is. Like, you just see these monsters coming out of the sea, like ocean, like every single second, thinking they're all that, like they're Usaki Gogo. And honestly, like, I wouldn't recommend anybody like choosing this like lineup of like shows. I can't understand why somebody would watch this show. Like, if I was like 14 and somebody showed me One Piece, I would just start barfing. Like, I'd just start letting it all out. I would just like commit like a tax felonies. I'll commit tax felonies. Yeah. And honestly, like the thing that One Piece doesn't have is that Nintendo charm, you know? Like, they should add like some like guy with some red plumber. Like, I know they have Luffy and stuff, but like, come on, like Luffy, like he's just some strategy like Mr. Fantastic clone. Like, he has no soul. Like, you know, that brings me into my first point about One Piece, you know? It just lacks so much soul. And if the developers just keep on ignoring it and just pretend and play it off as laughs and just think that everything's a joke and just keep pacing everything like so crappily, like at this rate, this isn't One Piece anymore. This is just Slot Piece. Like, I'm just genuinely so sad to say this. Like, I do love One Piece. Don't get me wrong. I like Fire Emblem 2. I like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But the thing is, it just doesn't hit the same spot for me as a One Piece Usopp Glazer. And as I'm recording this, I'm probably playing a game, and I'm thinking to myself, why did this happen? Where did it all go wrong? And then we just have to just think to our hearts and look. It wasn't about the journey, but rather the destination. It wasn't all for nothing. There was a purpose. And I want you to take this away from the video. Maybe everything wasn't for vain after all. Maybe there was a purpose for everything. Maybe, just maybe, One Piece wasn't the slop fest that we all didn't love. And that is it, guys. That is the floor of my video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the video. And let me know in the comments how you think. And also, make sure to like, share, and subscribe just for the extra clarification for more epic uploads. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye. Wahoo!